Hello and welcome back to Bramley Farm, where we build, farm and grow, and today we're going to be talking about chickens. So just filling up a bucket of water so we can do some chores. We have hoses, but I don't know, I prefer buckets. So excuse the horrible noise, but here we go. So for all you new viewers, we rescued some chickens from the British Hen Welfare Association. So we're going to talk a bit about them, give you an update on their coop, their run, how they've improved from when we first picked them up, and going to go through the daily chores without hitting everything with this tripod. So this is our chicken area, chicken palace one might say. So we've got a 6x3 chicken enclosure. We've got some chicken netting on there. Now if I'm honest, it's not to stop the foxes coming in, it's to stop the chickens getting out. If a fox wants to get in, it's going to get in, but it's more of a deterrent than anything else. So it's currently been put on straight onto grass. There are plans to do a deep bedding system here, as I've said in some other videos. And just like the ducks, I'm a big proponent of movable chicken coops. So if you swing around to here, this is our movable chicken run, which we'll get into a bit more detail now. But yeah, this is their enclosure. They've got a beautiful view over the allotment and the fields. And I will also be including in this video a mistake that I've done, and I can share with you. Oh, we're ducking down together, because guess what? We're not all perfect, and we like to learn together. So let's get in with these little chicken dinosaurs. So why do we rescue chickens? Well, we want to get some chickens. You've got a number of options available if you want to get into chickens, which I'll go through. You can buy hatching eggs, which are fertilised eggs, which you can get from some suppliers. You might even be able to get them from eBay. You need an incubator, you need heat lamps, you need starter crumb, you need all sorts of paraphernalia. They won't lay for the first 16 to 20 weeks, which is when they're called a pullet, and then they'll start laying from then on. The benefits of that are that they're used to you, you know what you're getting, you get the whole cuteness of chicks. I didn't want to go down that route. You can buy pullets, like I said, 16 to 20 weeks old. They're just starting to lay. They're about £30 a chicken. You can put them straight in on their own, straight onto layers pellets. Also didn't want that option, but the benefits of those, there's so many breeds. You've got Buff Orpingtons, Light Sussexes, Cream Leg Bars, Bantams, loads. Not to say it's a bad option. It's a very, very good option. You can get non-brown chickens that way, but it's not a route I wanted to go down. The route we decided to go was kind of make myself feel good, if I'm honest, and they're cheaper. They're £3 donation each. Rescue chickens. Now, rescue chickens, what are rescue chickens? Well, they're ex-caged battery hens. They haven't been outside. They don't know what the sunlight air is. They get to about 18 months old, and they've come to their end of their viable commercial age, and they normally then go into things like dog food, etc. So it's an industry that we have to have. But I thought, I want some chickens, I want about 10, let's go rescue some old ladies. So here we are. Please go check out, there's multiple rescue sites, please check them out before you go and look at any other types of chickens, because, well, we'll show you a before and after, but they come in horrendous state, and it's nice to see them grow and get a lot better. So for those of you who's not too common with a chicken, this is a chicken. My dog thinks it's a chicken also. Now, what is the main things to think about a chicken? Right, so on their face they have a beak, they have a comb, which is on top of their head, they have a wattle, which is underneath. I'm trying to video, please. Can you keep disturbance to a minimum? Beak, comb, wattle. They are flightless birds, however, no, it's okay. However, they can jump high fences, hence why it is enclosed. So they do have some wings. Now, to stop that, you can clip their wings. What does that mean? Well, You can take a pair of scissors, and it doesn't hurt. You can clip the edge of the wings, and it means that they can't get much airtime. It's okay. The key thing when you hold them is keep them nice and tight and not to panic. Now, these little two things at the bottom of their bodies are called chicken feet, and they are very destructive. So they spend all of their days kicking about. They will ruin your garden, they will ruin your beds, they will till anything put in front of them. So I have put mounds of grass and weeds in here, and they just scratch away and make an absolute mess of it. You can utilise that. And right here, this big ball of hard stuff right there is called their coop. So they eat all day, all the food goes into this coop, and then over the day it digests from here. So they need to eat grit, a little bit like ducks. I think I've mentioned it in a previous video. We put oyster shells, egg shells as a source of calcium and a way to digest their bellies. But that's a chicken. Enough of that. A chicken's a chicken. If you want to get into chickens, what's my daily routine? Well, I come in, I get a bucket of water, I do the water, I do the feed. Bucket of water, check. A waterer, check. I clean this each day because A, we all like fresh juice, fresh water, but if you give them clean fresh water, they're less likely to get ill. If you don't, they're more likely to get ill. So give them fresh water each day. That's a bucket of water. As simple as that. Turn you upside down and you got yourself some fresh water. I've got a chicken feeder. I use layers pellets, and you can use some corn, but there's not too much left. But if you can see, layers pellets. Now, I was saying about those two things at the bottom of the chicken's feet called chicken legs, and they like to scratch, remember? Really destructive. Let's see if they do it here. There's a bit left over. Keep them a bit entertained. Will you see them scratch? You watch them not scratch. Okay, brilliant. Maybe we'll come back to some scratching in a minute. Right, so that's it. Done. Now, onto coop. Movable coop, movable coop. Please make a movable coop. Even if you're keeping them in the same location like I am in here, make the coop movable, please. We don't like to clean out chickens. Ugh, chicken poo is nasty. So, make it movable, make it easy to clean. So what have we got here? Gotta say, the idea is not completely mine. I follow Justin Rhodes on YouTube. He's fantastic. It's where I got most of my ideas from. But I've just adapted it to how I wanted it. So, movable coop. I think it's 4 foot by 4 foot. 4 foot by 4 foot. These are wheelchair wheels. This is stainless steel. You can make it out of wood, but the idea is to make it as light as possible. Okay. So we've got a ramp here, which I can put in and pull out for when we need to move this. We have a door and a brass wire. This is actually a soldering stick, if anyone's interested, and I've just wrapped it around. It works perfectly fine. So let's come on into the chicken shed. The base. Poo can go through the base. This is very important. They poo and do most of their muck at night. So it's got to be small enough to not allow a fox to pull a chicken through, and small enough that they can walk on it without hurting their toes. But this is a key one. So you can see there's little bits building up, but I can just brush that out. I do put a perch. This is just a bit of wooden movable. I think these were old broom handles that I put into a bit of wood, but that is so they can perch, although a lot of chickens don't like perching. That is a common miss. The other benefit of having a mesh floor is ventilation. Ventilation is key. I've got some vent holes up the top there, but mainly it's through the bottom. So around the other side, this is all the eggs. So this is then the crux of it. These are two, a name shall not be named, crates. Again, movable. It's all movable. And see all this poo and muck here? Yeah, not great. So I clean these out once a week, and you are in luck. Today is clean out day. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs. Now, these ex-caged hens, they have been laying every day commercially for the last 18 months. So they're down on production. Okay, guys, if you're gonna get these old girls, they're down on production, but there's 2 of us, get 5 to 6 eggs a day. Don't know about you, but that's quite a lot of eggs. So how do we clean this out? I will show you now. Chicken scratching. Chicken scratching. Chicken scratch. See, I told you they scratched. They just knew they were on camera. So, how do we clean these out? Well, I take that out. I put that in there. And follow me, and you'll see that some systems are all starting to come together. I think the key is to be lazy, right? Lazy you are, the better systems you make, the easier life is. So, welcome back to my favourite compost pile. Can you remember the compost pile? For those who have not seen it, it's still a compost pile. So, chuck it on there. Clean. Put that on there. Clean. Put more straw in. Put it back in the chicken house. Chickens are cleaned out. I could make this whole process a bit more efficient than having the straw closer to hand, but we don't want to give them too much because the more straw you give them, the more they'll mess in there. So with that now all cleaned out, we can put it back in the chicken house. For those keen-eyed among you, you'd notice that this was a road sign. So in, up, chickens are cleaned out. Now it's time to move the chicken run. The whole point in having a mobile chicken coop. So most of their poo they do at night. It would then fall through the grate that I've showed you. All the chicken poo will come over there. So every week I move it one forward and then over here and then one back, and we go around in a circle, which means that the chickens can then scratch through. Sounds a bit nasty, but they scratch through their own muck and turn it into compost. So ramp up, handle out. Ta-da! Done. There was in fact a chicken in there. That's funny. Went for a little ride. Right, now this is where the chickens were. Oh, this is where all this chicken manure now, which they can scratch, the rain can get on it, the sun can get on it, and slowly start turning all this into compost. Now, what was the mistake I did? Okay, so I'm going to have to admit it. Right, because we were in a heat wave, I thought, probably not a problem. Where we've been cutting the grass, I've been putting loads of lawn clippings in here to let them scratch through stuff, which is fine. Doesn't smell. They're scratching through, they're pooing in it. My idea is to put wood chips on it soon. I'm detracting from the mistake I did. I put too much in here, and what it now has got is a big sponge of not very nice stuff. Especially when it starts raining, this is going to get really soggy if I don't add any wood chips on it. So if you're going to put grass clippings in it, they do love grass clippings, they love scratching through, picking all the bugs out. Just limit it, and maybe limit it in a corner until you have the wood chips. Right, so then we're making compost, you've got the carbon, the nitrogen. Once I start putting wood chips on it, it'll be absolutely fine. But as it stands, I haven't got wood chips, it's not fine. There, I said it, I got it off my chest, I made a mistake. So let's pick up one of the chickens that is still not in the best feather shape. Come on, you. Right. So I showed you a chicken earlier. This is another chicken, said chicken. But the feathers haven't quite come back yet. So the comb and the wattle are nice and red, but she's just not getting her feathers back. Now if you look in there, it doesn't even look like this skin has got any feather regrowth. It just looks like it's completely gone. Now why is this the case? Well, they're caged hens. Many of these are kept in a very, very small cage. So they poo on each other, which means that the acid is not very good for the feathers. It can burn their skin. They're not seeing daylight, not seeing wind. They're kept in very commercially driven conditions, which isn't conducive to a healthy chicken. Now, I'm going to put some pictures and potentially some videos on the screen of what they were like when they arrived. This one, if you think looks bad, you should see the ones that we've got. Especially poor old little Martha. Now Martha was the worst of the lot. I got 10. She was number 10. She was in a terrible state, so bad in fact. She's had to be removed from this setup and given individual care. And then she's actually going to be reintroduced in a week's time. Now she looks better than all of these put together because she's had the individual care. But let's pick a good one now. This is what we're trying to aim for, a fully feathered chicken. Nice redness in the face. And just, you know, when you look at a chicken you think, that looks alright, that's what we're aiming for. If you look at a chicken and go, that doesn't look alright, that's what they were and that's what we're coming away from. So that was our whistle-stop tour of our chickens. Just to recap, we rescue chickens from the British Hen Association. Our morning routine consists of filling up layers pellets, doing the water and checking for eggs. We have a movable coop that we move once a week. We have a confined area of 6x3, which is enough for 10 chickens. You want them to have enough space to scratch around. And I personally like to keep them contained so they don't ruin the garden with their scratchy feet. Now, we do need to keep them occupied, so we do have an upcoming video of how we're going to make this coop much more exciting for them, and it's going to be called something like chicken enrichment. That does sound fun, I know. So, yes, thank you very much for watching. For those interested in chickens, do it. Get them, support the Rescue Chicken Association, just take a look on their website. If you can, get chickens, start with a minimum of 3. There you are. Here are our chickens at Bramley Farm. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.